Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? So, the best way to help you all this morning or today, or for anybody that might be watching this tomorrow or later, is to tell you how I plan my day. So, I'm going to start and say a couple key points that we know for the upcoming week, because this helps us process what we're going to see in the market. Without thinking about that, how the hell are you going to determine if the market's going up or down? So real quick, we can start with futures. So I'm tracking futures, and futures were up somewhere between 170 and 240 points last night. Now futures are flat. They were red this morning. So obviously there hasn't been a true decision on which way the market's going. So let's talk about shit that we know, okay? If there is a bull run, the SPY can go up to 420. If not, it's going back to 385. Those are very general statements, okay? What else? Oh, Thursday, Friday, we were told it's the bottom, but what's really changed in the market to make the market want to go up or buy up the market? Because I believe what we saw was short covering. So we can talk about national headlines, right? There's a story coming out that Putin has some type of blood disease, okay? If he has a blood disease, these are all speculation, okay? Something I read from somebody that I follow on Twitter that's very well respected, huge following. So if he has zero hedges, is zero FX hedges or FX hedges or something like that. Anyway, so the point is, if he has a blood disease, here's what's going on in his mind. He's a narcissist. We all know that. So he was going to leave a legacy by attacking Ukraine, demolishing Ukraine, going in, winning his battle in 3 months. That didn't happen. So what's likely to happen is when he dies off over the next 3 months, because that's what's probably going to happen, or someone will go in and assassinate him over 3 months, then Russia will be responsible for rebuilding Ukraine. Okay, so all their oil money will go to a good cause, because that's the only way they get accepted back into the world geometry, whatever it is, not geometry. Anyway, so let's talk about the SPY today. This is pretty important because as we're going in, we're talking about the SPY. Now, I did this last week. I mentioned the SPY's range. So a couple of days, it'll go 12 points, meaning from its lowest point to its highest point, you'll find 12 points. Now, how do you use that? I'm going to tell you that the SPY traded a 10-point range on Friday. So easy. I've got a marker here. I'm going to show you the SPY is at 401.72. Let's just call it 402, okay? So you got the SPY at 402, and I say it's a 10-point range, okay? So you could say, okay, on the high, 412, on the low, 392. That's if we went 10 points in any direction. But let's say you're watching the market, okay? And the market does this, and it's here. Whatever it is at what you think the bottom is, you look and you go, okay, 402 here, 399 on the bottom. All right, so that's 3 points to the downside. So that means it has 7 points to the upside it can go. So it can go to 409. That's how you determine its range. See, 10 points, 399 to 409. Or let's say the market starts off strong and goes up to 407 to start, okay? And then it tops and kind of bell curves over. If you're at 407, you start at 402, let's say, that means you're up 5 points. If you go down from 407, 10 points, you can go to 397. So you got to figure out the range in the SPY for the day. That's how I trade. That's how I start the day, because if you can't figure out the range of the SPY, here's the catch, right? And you got to know the different levels of the SPY. So I also have that here. So different levels of the SPY, you got 396, 400. Now each of these levels, 404, 405, they act as floors or ceilings, meaning you have to track the SPY. So if you want to buy calls and you're bullish on the market, you're not going to buy calls when the SPY is sitting at 402, because the market can go down to 400, meaning your calls that you're looking to buy and pay $2 a contract could go down. So you're looking to when the market bottoms. So we spoke about different times the market bottoms. I'm just going to recap here what I'm doing today, and then I'm going to go over my watch list, and maybe I'll answer some questions if anybody has some questions. And we'll talk about what the market's going to do today. But first, all right, let's talk about what the market's going to do today. So first, let's bring up the SPY, and let's just pull this up here. Okay, so we've got the SPY, and you can see Thursday and Friday, light volume. Right now it's at 400, but this is light volume. So you had 3 outflow days. So actually, I need to draw you guys a picture, because what's most likely to happen, unfortunately, is, and you can follow crypto, is the market's probably going to sell off. I mean, it might have a strong day today, because you could say, okay, what if we have another green day? It could definitely push 410, 411 on the SPY, okay? So that's scenario number one. You always have to give yourself multiple scenarios. So bullish scenario, the buying continues from Thursday and Friday, the short covering, which is what I believe, because some of these companies that are bought up still have no earnings. I mean, you'll look at SoFi, which is probably up another like 6% pre-market, no earnings. So you say, okay, bullish scenario. The SPY within today or tomorrow is going up to 410 or 411. Now understand max pain on the SPY this week, where everybody loses the most money going into today's action, is 426 on the SPY. Yeah, all the way up there. So I'm not sure we're going to 426. Okay, but the bullish scenario is that the SPY is going to continue to be bought up off Thursday and Friday. Now, here's the bearish scenario. I'm going to draw it out for you, because a lot of times we see the market fall, and then you'll see what looks to be a rebound. Okay, so very generic. A lot of your charts show this. Netflix show this. Any stock that threw up on itself, when it throws up on itself, and then it starts to rebound. EPAM showed this. Now, here's what happens, actually, and my Discord members know this. There's usually a fake bump, and it goes even lower. So there's a chance the market threw up on itself, right? And then we saw Thursday and Friday, and the market looks good, and maybe it even goes Monday, maybe it even goes another day. What I'm saying is there's a good likelihood that this is a false bounce. Now, the reason I'm a little nervous to share that information is because the market could be strong for Monday and Tuesday. It could be strong for Monday and Tuesday. It could continue for 4 straight days, something to that extent. But it could be a false bounce. Now, a lot of people think the market's still overvalued. Understand. So here we are, Thursday, Friday, the market's rebounded. Maybe even Monday, we'll see. And then you find yourself maybe Tuesday and Wednesday, and you're at a lower point than you were before. So all those call options that you chased seem very expensive. You're going to be losing a ton of money. Or you wait for the market to turn up like it has been. And if you think the market's still going down, we're still in a bear market, you're buying those put contracts a month out on whatever it is, big tech, Amazon, Tesla, something to that extent. Understand, Tesla is going to continue to have some issues because materials and everything that they put into their batteries is costing more money. Their batteries used to cost $3,000. Then I heard $6,000. Now I hear their batteries actually cost about $9,000 to make per car. So either the price of Tesla has to go up or their profits have to come down a little. So anyway, that's my thought on the market. Now, what is going to help you out is there's a correlation between crypto right now and tech and the NASDAQ. There's about a 0.71 correlation, which means they're moving pretty much in line with each other. So the fact that I have a lot of crypto right now, I'm hoping tech has a strong week. But the likelihood is that we will probably see a down curve later in the week. So even if we see Monday or Tuesday buying, it's likely Wednesday or Thursday will be at a lower level. Now, let me explain that the Fed or multiple Fed chair people, because there are 12 Feds, 12 different districts. Then you have Powell, who's the head or the chairman. He's got his first lieutenant. Anyway, so we have Fed, we have Bullard speaking, we have Hawker speaking, we have Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow. So between today and tomorrow, I believe there are 5 people that are speaking and likely to say that you're going to see 50 basis points increase for June, which is coming up, July, which is coming up. Okay. Those are consecutive months. And then you have to go out to like probably September or November to see the next rate increase. So if the market is going to get stronger, it has to bottom. So a lot of people said, we saw the bottom on Thursday morning. We saw the bottom, Matt. Look, Thursday was buying, Friday was buying. The UVXY is down this morning. That's based on future volatility, right? Even though the SPY is flat or a little red, the UVXY is down based on future volatility, all right? But understand what's going on in China right now. So because China is the world's largest economy and controls our economy, their economy, if their gross domestic product goes down, our gross domestic product goes down. If ours goes down, guess what? One more quarter of gross domestic down, 2 quarters in a row, that means we're in recession. So everybody's heard about recession. I'm not trying to scare you. And there is a myth in the market that says we usually have a bull run before the recession. So the recession numbers should come out within like 2 months. If we have negative GDP, we will be in a recession. So having a little bull run, maybe for 3 or 4 days, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Again, I believe it's short covering. If you watch my video that I dropped either on Thursday or Friday, I think it was Friday, I spoke about short covering the market. I mean, stocks don't move up 30%. Okay, so now we're about 10 minutes in. Let me get my watch list, because my watch list is ridiculously sick in a bad way. It's ridiculously sick that I add stocks there, and my watch list is so freaking long that I have stocks here that, although I think they're going up, all I can do, because I don't follow them on a daily basis, is say, oh shit, that one moved 17%. I was correct, but I didn't buy in. So if that's like you have to narrow down your watch list. So let's do it together. Why not? That'll help you. So the first one is GTLB. You know what? Let me see if I can pull it up. This will be even more interesting. I'll give you this about 10 minutes. Hopefully we can go over about 10 or 12 stocks, GTLB, and I'll show you exactly what I see. GTLB. And I'll say the symbols. That way you guys can follow along with me. But here's Gilt Labs. So let's look at the 3-month. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, here we go. So Gilt Labs, 3-month chart. You can see it's at $44.54. So what I'm showing you right here is 3 months ago in March, all right, heavy outflow followed by inflow, and the stock went from $33 all the way to $62. It went up almost 100%. So it's on my watch list off of that. Then I'm watching it just meander lower and lower and lower and lower, and they're shorting this stock. The institutions are selling this stock. Heavy outflow for 4 straight days. And then again, when we thought we bottomed on Thursday and Friday, they were covering this stock. 2 million shares, 2 million shares. Generally, it trades 1.5 million. So when you look at this stock, you can see, okay, it could technically go up. But you know what? I just decided I don't want to have this stock on my watch list anymore because it doesn't trade enough volume. So you have to make decisions like that. Now, when I'm trading and we're trading with a market direction, and everybody's seen Love killing it lately. Do you know what options she loves the most? And Sarah, who's probably watching, hopefully, started playing Amazon options as well. Amazon, because it's like a tech leader. So you look at Amazon, you look at Microsoft, you look at Apple, you look at Tesla. Now, there are a couple of them I play to the north side. If the markets are green, and I think the market's going to go higher, I want to be in Microsoft and Google. I want to be in those 2 big tech. Okay. If the markets are getting red and getting uglier, I think I want to be short Amazon and Tesla. Okay. So again, they're all considered big tech, but I have 2 plays for the upside: Microsoft, because they actually have good earnings; Google, because they're a freaking mammoth company with a lot of money and a lot of earnings, and they own YouTube, and that'll all work its way out and they'll become profitable again. And then again, on the downside, Apple, because they're having supply chain issues. And I just heard there were more supply chain shortages dealing with their phone in China. I heard this recently over the weekend. So again, I would be short Apple, and then I would be short Tesla, because I mentioned again before that their batteries are getting more expensive, that competition's out there, GM, NIO, Ford, I mean, whatever it is. And yes, Tesla's definitely the coolest. I'm not trying to insult anybody in Tesla. If I was driving Tesla, I'd be happy. Doesn't mean I think the valuation is correct. And then we look at all those anti-Kathy people, right? She's innovation. She's, creative. Her account is getting wrecked worse than Jim Cramer. Okay. So that's crazy. All right. So let's look at what else I got on here. So now moved up to the top is obviously the SPY. Then under the SPY, I have the UVXY. Again, UVXY, a lot of people don't understand this. They say it's volatility. It's the VIX times 1.5. That's what Google tells you, but it's not. It's based on futures. So it's the volatility of futures. So you have to look at tech futures, Dow futures, like a month or 2 from now and see, because just because the market gets hit one day doesn't mean futures are getting hit. But sometimes futures will get hit worse than the market. It's a rarity. Okay, then what do I have? I've got Snap, because Snap's extremely volatile. Again, you know what? I could definitely show you guys Snap here, because there's money to be made on Snap. There's no doubt. Snap does not have earnings. Snap is a social media play. Let's look at the 3-month chart so I can really show you what I'm looking at here. Again, heavily shorted. They shorted all the way down here, 30. Then there was massive buying into earnings, which came out good. Then it was a short play, short play, short play. So they've been buying for the last few days. So again, if the market decides they want to purchase today, then Snap will go get hit in the morning, because everything's going to sell off. So it's 24.47. So entry would be like 24 points. Oh, I didn't show you guys that. Sorry. So Snap entry, if today is a green day in the market and you're looking at following stocks that have been heavily shorted, you want to look at Snap, which they've been buying back, Roblox, which they've been buying back, Coin, which they've been buying back, Shopify, which they've been buying back. Okay. These are all stocks that technically haven't secured the right value yet. Okay. And let me explain what I mean. They lost some of them 50% of their value. And then all of a sudden on Thursday, everybody decided this is the right time to buy back in. But what could definitely happen, and if you missed signing up earlier, here's what my drawing was. And I said, okay, so the market took a shit on itself. And then we had Thursday and Friday, it was buying. Monday might be buying as well. They might even buy today or tomorrow. It might be a 4-day run. I shot a video last week called Bull Run in a Bear Market. So, or the short covering. So again, and then if you go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you could be at a lower point. So what are some plays that you can make if you believe that is the case? UVXY calls. If you think the market is overvalued, again, you got the Fed speaking today, the Fed speaking tomorrow. There's no real news except for I think we have probably some index numbers coming out on Wednesday. You probably have housing numbers on Thursday. So there are numbers every day this week. So a positive for the market would be like if Putin dies, if the war stops, if China relaxes their restrictions, which I heard China is doing. Again, they're relaxing some of their restriction in Beijing and in Shanghai. However, they're canceling summer events. So events that were going to draw huge crowds, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, they're canceling. So they're saying one thing and they're doing another. Next, COVID. We haven't spoken about COVID. North Korea just reported they have 863,000 cases or 838,000, something over 800,000. 3 days ago, they reported 0 cases. Now they're reporting 800,000 cases. Okay. Lastly, the last thing I'm going to go over, and then we'll finish up with a couple stocks, is there's going to be a world food shortage. Understand, I've said this before. Fertilizer. Ukraine has the most fertile country land in all of the world. They export corn, wheat, other grains. Ukraine is only going to be able to farm about 20% as of right now, assuming Putin doesn't blow up the whole freaking country. With that said, there's going to be a shortage and a famine in Africa and other continents where they're very poor. So that is going to push hard on the world, which is why the markets aren't going to go gangbusters. Another reason the markets aren't going to sell off, because all these companies, some of these companies have earnings and the PEs are right and they're falling in line, which is why the market's not going to crash to 385, I don't think. So yes, let's go with my final prediction of the day. So final prediction of the day, I'm going to draw it out right now. This is what I like to do pre-market. So we're 401 pre-market on the SPY. Is that correct? Let's just make sure that's correct. 401 on the SPY. SPY is down 32, which is, yeah, a point, right? Yeah, 401. Okay. Well, 470. 440. Okay. So we'll start at 400. More likely we start at 400. So we start at 400. I say there's going to be a 10-point range today. Okay. So the easiest way to think of it would be like, okay, let's take 5 points to the bottom side and 5 points to the top side. Because on average, you can just say that. You could say the market's not going to be terribly bloody, or else you'd go down 10 points and say from 400 to 390. And you didn't say the market's going to be so green like it was Thursday and Friday. Understand futures were up big time Thursday and Friday. That's not the case today. In fact, they're probably red now. But let's take 405 on the high side. So here's what we have for the market, the range today. 405 on the SPY, 395. And then we say to ourselves, okay, they were buying on Thursday and Friday, so there's a good likelihood it moves more north than it does south. Okay, so then you say, okay, let's adjust it by 2 points. So then we go, okay, so on the bottom side, we'll have 397. On the top side, 407. So what does this tell you? It tells you if you're playing the SPY today and you agree with what I said already this morning. In fact, this is my strategy. When the SPY hits 397 this morning, I will be looking at calls. If the SPY goes up to 407 this morning or any point, in the early afternoon, I will be looking at puts because I already told you the SPY trades within a 10-point range. So I don't have to call the top perfectly, but I could tell you if it's close to 10 points up from the bottom, that it's probably the top. Again, the SPY traded 12 points range on Thursday, 10 points on Friday. So you got to go that history repeats itself. Let me just see if I have any other stocks. I didn't really get to my watch list, so maybe we'll do that. Let's see what stocks are up. Mosaic is up 2% pre-market. Shot a video on this one. This is fertilizer stock. It's about shit. Next, Intrepid Potash. Same thing. It's up 2.5% pre-market. All right, UVXY is down 1%. Coin is up 0.5%. Okay, TTD. This is an interesting stock because it follows the other stocks. So I'm going to pull up one more stock. Let's just share it screen real quick so I don't lose that first. TTT, which is the trade desk company. Okay, so marketing. So let's go to the 1 month chart because what you can see is This stock was shorted. Now, a lot of the times I tell you it fills the gap. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 outflow days. And it almost looks like a mirror because volume these 2 days were the same volume. This day was 10 million, 11 million. You go out the third day, 7 million, 10 million, 7 million there. So if it's a green market, it's likely TTD will probably push right up here to $59. And again, it's $52 pre-market, it's 53. So TTD has an 11% to the upside. However, if you go out wider and you say, okay, let's say this bottom wasn't the real bottom, and that's correct, and they'll be selling later this week, then you have to go out to a year and you say, okay, maybe it can go even lower because it broke to a new low. So that's why people were buying the bottom on Thursday and Friday. A lot of stocks were down like to their 2-year low, and we're not even in the pandemic anymore. All right, with that said, I got to do my final analyzing. I'm going to shoot a video for Discord. We're 349 trading on Discord if you want to follow. For anybody else, I'll see you guys there soon. But again, understand the SPY. You don't just jump into the SPY at any levels. That is most important. If it's between levels, if it's at, let's pick an odd point, 399, understand it's either going down to 396 or when it breaks 400, it's going to the upside to 404. So that's when you play. That's why you don't buy into any stocks when the SPY is sitting at 399. You say, okay, let it go down, man, to 396. At 396, whatever stocks I'm buying, yes, if that's the base for the SPY, you'll see all your stocks bounce. At 400, if you see the SPY past 400 to the upside, you go, okay, next level is 404. That means whatever stocks I'm in are likely going higher by another percent or two. Let me jump in and get ready. All right, a great day of trading. I'll see everybody later. Thank you so much for watching.